is Daddy Biden pardoning Hunter dating back years earlier, specifically January 1st, 2014. What happened then? What were we doing then? Oh, I know. We were overthrowing a duly elected president in Ukraine. That's what I know. Ukraine. Back in 2014, Joe Biden was vice president. It was Obama's White House. And we staged a coup in Ukraine. We just overthrew a president, turned Ukraine into a laundromat for the West. We were just money laundering. They're making money. We funded, like this is always our move, we fund rebels to overthrow presidents. We're doing it right now in Syria. We arm them. We fund them. And this time in 2014, in February 2014 to be specific, we overthrew President Viktor Yanukovych, and we installed a Western puppet president. And that is, by the way, part of the reason and the circumstance that has led to the situation in Russia today. Yes, on Putin's border, we staged a coup. Might be a little bit upsetting to him. I'm going to jog your memory about that before I explain to you the Hunter connection. Here is my buddy Dave Smith discussing what happened in Ukraine in 2014 with Joe Rogan.
Listen to your enemies. There's a reason why he hates us. And if you listen to Vladimir Putin and what he's saying, I mean, look, he's wrong for invading Ukraine. And I mean, you know me, Joe. I'm the most anti-war fucking person there is. And there's no excuse for that. Like tens of thousands of people have died. It's horrible. And a lot of them are soldiers, but a lot of them are civilians. And but to say he was unprovoked is like insane. It's just only people who know nothing about the history of this conflict would say there was no provocation.
Did you see the conversation that Roger Waters had with that CNN guy?
Yeah, and right, because Roger Waters was awesome on that. Because he knows what he's talking about, dude. And he's right about all of that shit. Look, the promise, this is what he was saying. He's absolutely right. That the promise when the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, and this was like verbally promised and put in writing, was that NATO would not expand 1 inch to the east. And NATO at that point, the line then was through Germany. Right? Like the western half of Germany was in the west, and the eastern half was with the Soviet Union. And they were like, we'll let all of these nations, secede, and the Soviet Union will collapse, and we're giving up on communism. It's one of the greatest things that ever happened. And the deal was, okay, you do that, then we won't move NATO. We won't move our military alliance into your area. That used to be your realm of influence. And every single president since then has moved NATO east, to the point that NATO is now on Russia's border. And in Ukraine, even though they didn't officially join NATO, there was always talk of it. Kamala Harris, right before the start of the war, said we're looking to put Ukraine into NATO. And they put under George W. Bush, they put in Poland these dual-use rocket launchers. There's a big complaint that Vladimir Putin has that he's like these can be used to get nukes here in a matter of minutes. Like this is like a threat to us that we cannot tolerate. And then in 2014, there was a coup in Ukraine that was completely led by the West. I don't know if you've ever heard, but like I think I sent you actually once the tape of Gideon Rose, who was the editor for Foreign Affairs magazine on the old Stephen Colbert Report show back when Colbert was hilarious, and he was just openly bragging about what the game is here. And then he was like, "Well, Ukraine is kind of like the Robin to Russia's Batman, and so our job is to steal Robin away from Batman and make him come over here and join us. And Vladimir Putin's so stupid that he won't do anything." And then Colbert's in his old character, so he's like, "Well, shouldn't Obama be spiking the football and saying, 'Yeah, in your face, Putin'?" And Gideon Rose is like, "Well, no, because then Putin might invade Ukraine." So we wouldn't want to spike the ball,